Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream, giving you that spiritual voltage that you signed up for. Y'all already know what time it is. We got another imperative topic. We got to talk about reserving our energy. Yes, the battle is real. Now, first and foremost, I want to put my disclaimer out there. Yes, the parameters of this conversation is about black girl magic. I'm going to be talking about witches. But this topic is also interchangeable because there are wizards out there. So before all the ladies get into a hissy fit, and get their panties all in a bunch, let it be known that this can be interchangeable. But the reason why I'm honing in on black girl magic is because over the last, let's say, 2 to 3 years, there's been an enormous uptick in ladies in the inner city, to be exact. We're talking about women of color, melanated women. They're leaving the Christian church and they're going to one extreme to the next. A couple years back, we seen so many news briefings about this because it was almost like a phenomenon where you had all these women leaving the churches, going to practice what you would call African ancestral religions. And all it is really is witchcraft. And we got to talk about this because it's getting out of control. I'm not here to cause division between man and woman, but I want you brothers to be aware because the times are getting dangerous. The Jezebel Spirit is maneuvering, and it's a heavy spirit that's holding a lot of brothers down. It's stripping a lot of brothers from their energy to the point where they can't even thrive or even think about succeeding in their respective professions or in their life in general, because they really have a ball and chain type of situation going on. And this culture pushes black girl magic. It pushes the whimsical, the capricious nature of a woman. It tickles her mind. It manipulates her with all these flashing lights that Satan likes to show our ladies and reel our ladies into something alternative. Now, I'm not here to cause division because keep in mind, there's some good sisters still out there. They're few and they're far in between. And plus, the divestors, they're doing a good enough job in keeping us separated. I'm talking about those women who are having a real hard time finding a suitable mate, especially within the dating realm of melanated people. There's a lot of frustration going on with a lot of women. And this is one of the main reasons that women are turning to witchcraft. There's a lot of love spells being casted out there. So because of the frustration that they're having finding a black man to settle down with, they're putting roots on brothers. They're doing magic. They're doing yoni steams. They're practicing mysticism. They're practicing Buddhism. They're doing the yoga. They're doing the tarot cards. They're burning the sage. They're doing all kind of acts behind closed doors, but we're going to bring some of those things to the light today. Jasmine, thank you for the $10 contribution. Highly appreciate it. Says, lost the best friend of 24 years because she was into paganism. I had to let her go. All praises to the Most High. Shalom. That's what's up. You know, you had to do what you had to do. It's unfortunate that you lost a friend, but at the same time, you don't know how dangerous it could have been. You just being in the same company as that sister. She could have caused a lot of problems in your life because all a witch needs, because that's what a pagan is. You know, a pagan woman would be a witch. All a witch need is a point of entry. If you would give her information about yourself or even ask her for advice on certain situations, She will have the spiritual authority to control and manipulate those situations. And you don't want that. It's a dangerous place to be. Jewish Samaritan says white girls doing it too. Absolutely. But again, as I stated earlier, black girl magic is becoming a lot more, I would say, relevant in society. And the reason being is because there's a few different kind of witches, which I don't want to really dive too far into that. But what I will say is this. This is not how it was 10 years ago. Pagans always been pagans. But for our women to make a dramatic change like they have, we got to examine it. Yeah, the Jezebel spirit is very real. And let me say this for the record. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off as a nation. These 2/3, they're desperate right now. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say all wicked people are desperate right now. And they need the energy of you, brothers and sisters. They need the energy of the chosen. They are exhausted. They are energy vampires. They are really trying to gain your powers that you have deeply rooted in you. And I need y'all to know that they literally are on their last breath. And you can look at your news correspondents, pundits, you can look at your billion-dollar actors, you can look at all these people, your politicians. They are exhausted. They need our energy to thrive and survive. They need us. I need y'all to understand that. We are the light of the earth. See, darkness cannot just survive without any light whatsoever. And I need y'all to know that. When you go into the parables of the lampstand, it tells you that they would need to feed off of your light. So if you got people in your family, your friends, colleagues, associates, no matter who it is, if you got individuals that's trying to trigger you, if you got individuals that's trying to push a negative response out you in any way, they're trying to strip you of your energy. You must reserve thy energy. Let them die off. Let them perish. Because without you in total darkness, they become nothingness. Right? We need to know that. Yep. Justin Y says TikTok is also helping make witchcraft more mainstream. Says for your page is literally people making altars and spells. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen that on TikTok. I don't need to know that foolishness. Right. Exactly. It's going on a whole lot on TikTok. Brothers, I want y'all to know how real the game is. I want to go to a source today. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copyrighted material for the purpose of teaching and edification. And that's exactly what I'll be doing in this video. I want you to hear this other YouTuber, this fellow YouTuber, talk about how she put a love spell on a brother and it reversed. Now, brothers, it's real out here. Women are doing a lot of things to try to gain power. See, there's a power struggle going on. They don't want to adhere to the biblical patriarch. No. They want to rule over you with an iron fist. They want to be able to do things like roll their eyes and have you act like Will Smith and bum rush anybody. They want that type of manipulation and control over you, brothers. It's time more than ever to start to begin to reserve our energy. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and share this source here. Let's hear it. Let's hear how the sister did a love spell on a brother and it reversed. And let me say this as well before I get started. What's required from these witches, warlocks, wizards, these evildoers, these wicked people, what's required from them is constant And it's tiring. They constantly got to do certain things. They constantly got to do magic. They constantly got to make sacrifices. Satan is never, ever satisfied. Satan is always going to be pulling something from them. It's not like us. Yes, we have our ups and downs just like everybody else. We get tired. We get weary at times in the faith. We go through things. But there's a constant peace knowing that we have a creator on high that's looking out for us. It's not like that with them. Satan rules them with fear. So they're constantly having to do more evil. They have to accelerate their program. And they have to have targets. They literally have to have targets. And brothers, all you brothers in the truth who've been peeling these books open, who've been practicing semen retention and trying to get focused and succeed in life and do what it is you do, a lot of you brothers are going to be targets because they don't want, I want y'all to listen to me carefully. A lot of these witches don't want men who are already corrupted. There's no power in that. They don't want men who are already evil as hell. It's not the same. It's not the same. They don't get the same majesty that they would get from a brother who's actually trying to do the right thing. Now I want you to hear this out. Story time. It says, story time. I was cursed over a love spell I did on my ex. Let's see what she got to say.
So, first of all, let's start with the comments that I've been getting, the questions that I've been getting on my other video, on the spell video. A lot of people's been asking me, did I experience any karma while doing the spell? How long did it last? Did you?
And let me just point this out. This have become the norm for women to just sit around doing spells. I don't know what she's smoking. For the record, I think she's smoking sage. So no community guidelines there. She must be smoking sage. All right, let's just put it there because she's smoking something. All right, let's go.
You guys ever speak again? Like, what happened after the spell? You know, everyone is curious about what happened years later. So I'm gonna start off by saying this. Even though I look very majestic and magical, I am not a witch.
She says she looks majestic and magical. She is not a witch. And this is why the Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. See, favor is deceitful. It don't matter what a woman look like, brothers. This is what I need you to understand. It don't matter how pretty a woman is. It don't matter that she's fair or put together. That can be deceitful. Even Satan said he will appear like an angel of light. So Satan is going to try to lure you in with some of the most beautiful packages. And this is why the Bible also says in Ecclesiastes 9:6, give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thy inheritance. Ooh, don't give your soul to a harlot. You can lose your inheritance. Now, I don't know about you, brothers. But let me put this out here. The inheritance that the Almighty got for me, that's irreplaceable. I don't care how fine a sister is. I'm not willing to jeopardize the inheritance that the Almighty got for me in the kingdom to come. Mansions paid with gold, decked out for no harlot, bro. I ain't finna do that. I want to make sure I choose wisely, right? We got to make sure we choose wisely. Let me go to the next verse. The next verse reads, look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. That means don't be all goosing and thirsty as all hell when you walking through the streets. And don't be like that when you in solitary, meaning when you at home, meaning when you got those computers and those monitors and those cell phones. Don't be desert thirsty over these women's beauty, right? It says, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For with if love kindle a fire, many have been deceived by these beautiful women. Many. But let me read this last verse and we'll play the video. Ecclesiastes 9:9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so thy desire to fall into destruction. All right. So these women can bring you into destruction. And a lot of these witches, they are adulterous women. They're not virgins. A lot of them are adulterous women. All right. Now, let's get it.
I am not. Get it. I am not a witch. I am not a witch. I do not practice.
And then she says she's not a witch while she's talking about casting a spell. I'm telling you, yo, a lot of these modern women be tweaking, be. They out there with it. They on another stratosphere with it. Now, here's her reasoning why she says she's not a witch, as if it's not more than one form of witchcraft. Let's go.
Is brujeria, santeria.
Because she doesn't do brujeria or santeria. She believes that she's not a witch. Let's see her reasoning why.
Voodoo, witchcraft. I do not practice any of that.
But you're doing love spells. See, this is how the devil is working on these women's minds. They believe they can do spells and not be considered a witch. They believe that they can take a candle, have a manifestation journal, have some incense, and they can do these seances, and they don't think that classifies them as a witch. They don't even know that they're entertaining familiar spirits, which we'll get a little bit into that as the video goes. Yep, exactly, Nick. Says a drug dealer won't tell everybody he's a drug dealer. Exactly. My sentiments exactly. Let's continue.
I swear to you, I do not. In that video, what I did accidentally, it was an accident. I was just a teenage girl going through a heartbreak, trying to get over this boy that crushed my heart. Honestly. Well, I guess I didn't really explain that too well in the video, but I was looking for guidance in any way possible.
And that's how it be. When these women, these sisters don't know how to deal with heartbreak. They don't know how to deal with moving forward. And this is why a lot of you brothers, if you're going to take a woman as a wife and she's young and she's marriageable age, you know, you don't want to just leave her out into the world. You know, I would like to use Jada Pinkett for an example with that. It has been rumored that Tupac is the first one to get with Jada Pinkett. You know, Tupac ain't no longer here, and now look, she's still looking for that void. She's still looking to fulfill that void. So she's delving into all type of practices, just searching for answers. So, you know, that's how it be with a lot of sisters. But let's continue.
It was also to the point where I didn't want to keep pestering people about how to get over my ex-boyfriend and crying over him, knowing that I can do a whole lot better, that I deserve a whole lot better, and I did not deserve to go through that because I was a freaking innocent teenager, a virgin. Like, I was a freaking child, man, and this kid fucked me up. He did.
She was a virgin. She was innocent. She was young. And look, this is her reasoning for turning to witchcraft. She was looking for answers. More than likely, she hopped on Google. And that's what led her to the lifestyle that she's living right now. See, when a woman gets hurt, that pain that's in her, she wants to get even. You know, they say hell have no fury like a woman's scorn. So all of that hate, all of that pain, she transmuted it into what she's doing now so she can make sure that she never feels that hurt again. It's all a power struggle. And you know how many women out here are doing the very same thing? At least 2/3 of them walking around, brothers. At least 2/3 of them are practicing black girl magic. And what they doing behind closed doors will have you out here flaccid, will have you out here gassed, flabbergasted. Will have you out here lost. Will have you out here in a position where you are a shell of a man. Just because you went into a sister that was fair. You better find out what they believe in. Better find out what they doing. 100. Let's see.
He cheated on me. He took my virginity. I talk about it in the video. I go into a little bit more detail about that if you want to go watch that. And it was just a horrible experience. And I wanted, like, as a child, like as a kid, like I just wanted revenge. When I did this, I was probably like about 18.
She said she just wanted revenge. So and also on this channel, she talks about spells that she's done just on coworkers. She talks about spells that she's done on coworkers that actually worked. Like, let me tell y'all something. It's a spiritual warfare. On the outside looking in, you wouldn't think that this young lady is at her home with visceral in her heart, out here bewitching people, out here casting spells, out, yeah, being spiteful. You wouldn't believe this, but it's so many sisters operating in black girl magic. I'm telling you. And a lot of them are agents. They're agents for Satan to tear down men of God, especially disciplined men of God. Oh, they bloodthirsty for those type of brothers. They want your energy, brothers. Let's go.
I just wanted to get over him. Instead of pestering people with the same questions and just for advice, I turned to the internet, how to get over a breakup, how to move on from your life. And
she turned to the internet to learn how to get over a breakup.
They recommended a spell. I did like charms. I'm actually watching the new series on Netflix and it's awesome. But as a young girl, we're into stuff like that. It's fun. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Fathers, protect your daughters.
That's like that.
Be careful what they watching. Let them know that it's wrong.
But my cousin put me on to like witches and charms and spells. But it's just playing around, it's not serious. I read it. It was a long ass time ago, okay? So I just Googled it. And it just put me to this website. It was just saying to just write down a spell that just something from the heart and repeat it 3 times. They suggested to buy a pink candle with it, and I guess to say it every day. Well, me, I don't know.
So it can be as something as simple as a candle. She was taught to buy a candle and repeat a certain phrase repeatedly, day in and day out, which shows you that there's power in words. There's power in words. The tongue is like a double-edged sword. And what it does is it channels an energy. And I also told people about the power of words when labeling your food, taking mason jars, putting cooked rice inside the mason jar. This is an experiment you can actually try. Take 2 mason jars, put cooked rice in each jar, right? Cover the jars up, put one label on it that says love, put another label on the other jar that says hate. When you pick those jars up about a week or so later, in the same temperature, room temperature, the one that says hate is going to have mold, it's going to have fungus, it's going to have all kind of debris. The one that says love is still going to be looking clean. It's power in words. That's what we got. That's why we got to be careful what we speak. We can truly speak things into existence, but you can do it on the right-hand side or you can do it on the left-hand side. Regardless, if you're operating on the left-hand side doing anything, it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. Right. Let's continue.
Don't remember if the website told me to recite it every single day 3 times in a row, but that was just something that I did because I remember my cousin was telling me how, like in charms, the power of three will set you free. So every time they will chant, it'll work a lot stronger if all three of them was chanting and they repeated it 3 times. Oh my god. I guess that is fucking real.
Oh, it's real. And she found out, she had to find out the hard way it was real. And a lot of sisters are entertaining these type of practices. In the Bible days, you are not even able to live from doing things like this. In Exodus 22 and 18, the Most High says, I suffer not a witch to live. Listen, the Salem witch trials, women were getting beheaded, they were getting stoned, they were getting burnt at the stake for things like this. But sisters, you have grace right now. If you are practicing any of these things, I'm telling you, come out of that. Get away from those things, because Satan is going to require more and more. Let's continue. And everybody thumb the video up. Everybody. Thank you.
Read the spell in my other video. So like I said, go check that out. I read the spell in the other video because I still have it in a very, very old diary that I got as a present from my uncle. And I wrote it down in there. So yeah, so this is what people want to know. Let me actually go to, hey, could you make an updated video on how your spells affected you and how he felt once the spell wore off? So how it affected me. Ooh, hold on. Let me see if there's any other questions.
Now, notice she said how he felt after the question asked in her phone. How did he feel after the spell wore off? Some of you brothers are under a spell as we speak. Some of you brothers are under a demonic spell and you don't even know it, because some of you brothers are living a lifestyle of whoredom. You're whoremongering. You just dealing with any woman. You don't have no type of discretion. You just dealing with any woman that will give you a piece of them cakes. And you wondering why things are falling apart in your life. You wonder why your vehicle keep breaking down. You wonder why you keep getting laid off from this job to that job to the next. You're wondering why certain things are taking place. And you're not even putting two and two together that you didn't lay with one of these witches. Yep. So Bryce Lemon, thank you for the $20 contribution. I appreciate it. Highly appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yep. It says, I struggle more with addiction more than whoring around, but life is steady ATM. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But some of these addictions for brothers who are whoring around, that addiction is very dangerous. And that's an addiction too, in case you don't know. Whoring around is an addiction as well. But anyway, let's go.
Is that similar to that? Let me see. For how long you guys had no contact? I'm asking the timeline before you did the spell and the last contact of you two. The most important question was, did you get karma? What happened after you did the spell? Okay, so before I did the spell, when we broke up, and we stopped talking, it was probably for like a month that we stopped talking before I did the spell. And the last contact of you two. This is the thing. When we broke up, I didn't see him. We didn't break up in person. It was over the phone because we spoke on the phone a lot. So
all right, she's talking very slow.
Yeah, we didn't see each other. Hey, could you make an updated video on how? And he like was going through shit, and he was reaching out to a lot of people. I don't know why, but that's what I heard. How did it affect me? Girl, let me tell.
All right, so the brother that she put a spell on, apparently the brother had some spiritual authority. The brother wasn't falling for it. It didn't work on him. It worked to a degree. She was with him for a while, But eventually the spell wore off. Now she's about to explain to her, I guess it's her email where she's getting this question, how it affected her. And this is why I need you brothers to reserve thy energy. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of sisters doing magic on a lot of you brothers right now. Even brothers who are not dealing with these women from a relationship standpoint, an intimate relationship. There are still women in your life. A lot of you brothers have women in your life, maybe even a family member that's doing certain things to try to control and manipulate your masculinity and your manhood. And it's very important to know how to reserve your energy as a man. Because when you start feeding into their energy, they got you, even if it's just an argument. That's how deep the sorcery is. Even if it's just a petty debate, they got you because you're giving energy. You're exuberating your masculine energy, and that's what they use. So if you can only imagine how it is as a brother in truth that's on social media, oh, that's a whole nother monster right there. I want y'all to think about this. Brothers like myself and others are making content about these witches. I want you to think about this. How much spiritual authority it takes to actually combat how many women don't want this information to go out and how much witchcraft is being practiced behind closed doors. There's even women that are content creators, that are known content creators, that are doing tarot card readings. My brother, shout out to Black Male TV Advice, had a woman doing a whole tarot card reading on him on camera, on her live stream. So when you seeing stuff like that happen, you know there's a battle against brothers in truth. And also there's a video that I posted on my Patreon with a sister that, you know, more than likely does the same thing, was making a video about me, and it's been proven she doesn't even follow the Bible. Don't even follow the Bible, been proven. But these witches, they're coming out because they need our energy. They are higher agents by Satan to do these rituals against God-fearing men, because there's a certain amount of power that they will receive if they can somehow tear us down. But they don't know they're not dealing with Ahabs. They're dealing with mighty men. And you brothers got to get a mentality of discipline, because, and I'm talking about emotional discipline, or you can end up like Will Smith, self-sabotage. That's the name of the game right now, brothers. The name of the game is to get witches to make you brothers self-sabotage because you allowed them to have a point of entry. See, the powers that be can't come right at you. They only can send people who are the closest to you. And you brothers got to understand, we are at war right now. We are at war with black girl magic. And the only way to overcome it is we got to have spiritual fortitude on the next level for the Almighty. We got to get in this book. Thank you for the $10 contribution. Bryce says, New Breed. People do witchcraft on me. How do I defend myself? Fasting and prayer, and also not allowing them to get any of your energy. You cannot give them your energy. They are totally energy based. Without your energy, they get exhausted. Listen, I want you to think about a witch movie. I think there was a movie that came out in the 90s called The Wicked Witches. I may be wrong, but I believe it was called The Wicked Witches, or The Witches of Salem. It was something to that degree. I wish I could remember the name of it. But listen, these witches, they look beautiful when you see them. It's not like riding on a broomstick, big wart on their damn nose. No, witches look very physically appealing, right? Very physically appealing. But the thing is, when they don't extract the light from the righteous, they get exhausted and they begin to wear out. They begin to look like the witch, you know, the wicked witches of Salem. They begin to get the big warts and start looking all crazy and face looking all distorted. Like that happens. This is what happened. Eastwick, boom. See, that's why I rock with y'all the long way. The Witches of Eastwick. That's what it was called. Yep. Behind closed doors, when they're not getting the power, this is why I say reserve your energy. When they're not getting the power from us, this is spiritual warfare. When they're not getting the power, they begin to rot from the inside out. They begin to die off. That's what we want. Same thing with wizards. Listen, if we start starving the 2/3 out, because the Most High God, He's ready to elevate us. We chose the right side. We on the right side of history. The meek shall inherit the earth. The Most High God ready to bring us to the next level. If we don't give them the energy, they die off. They die off. They're energy vampires. But anyway, I want this young lady to say what happened to her when the spell was reversed. When she didn't get the energy that she expected from that man, what started to happen to her. All right, let's go. Let's go back to story time.
You, bro, yo. I honestly didn't think of it. I did not think of it until you asked me this question. I did not think of it because I didn't know that spells can do.
I don't know what the hell she's smoking, but it got her out here tweaking. Shorty loopy as hell. Anyway, we over 1,000 people in the room. Let the lion roar. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the thumbs up over 1,000 if you're learning today. All right, let's see if Shorty can get to what happened.
Do that. You know, when you do magic, it
Stay off drugs, brothers and sisters. Stay off drugs. Leave them alone. This is your brain. Listen, this is a Dare commercial right now. This is your brain on drugs. All right, let's get it.
or witchcraft, whatever, that shit always comes back to you. You know, I didn't know that back then, and I didn't take it so seriously. But I guess I actually did. I created a spell, and it worked for me because I guess, like I said in my video, I really felt that I was coming from a very desperate, hurt space. I was really, really hurt. This was my first heartbreak, my first boyfriend.
Hey, now this should be a lot of layers that you ladies are learning right now. This is not the way you deal with hurt and heartache. The way you deal with it is you get closer to the Almighty. Keep them legs closed. Keep them eyes open. Start praying. Take care of yourself. You bounce back. Don't take matters into your own hands, because you're going to curse yourself. And it's getting dangerous out here playing with these things in this day and age. Let's go, though. Let's get it.
He took my virginity, and he hurt me so bad.
And brothers, stop playing around with women's virginity. Stop playing around with sisters' virginity. If there's any virgins out there, some women that say they virgins, that don't necessarily mean they virgins. You know, you got to use your discretion. But brothers, you cannot play with a woman's prized possession, because you will turn them out. They'll turn to all these various practices. And you know what the old saying goes: once a good girl's gone bad, psh, she's gone forever. Bernard, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, as the enemy turns up the heat, so does the Most High and His chosen. 100. Real talk. Yeah, we got them exhausted. We got they back against the wall. And we steady glowed up. I know they hate to see it. The Most High is lifting His people, but let's go.
I was so hurt, and I just wanted to heal. I really wanted to heal, and I did tremendously fast. But this came back to bite me in the ass. One day, a random evening, me and my friend decide to go to the city, and we're on the train. We're standing by the two doors. As we're getting closer to our stop, about 3 or 4 guys come in, and all of them are wearing, and this is around the holidays, Christmas time. All of them are wearing the same sweater. They all have this demonic
Around Christmas time, a high pagan holy day, a high satanic holiday where witches operate full fledged. Now she's talking about her experience after she casted a spell on her brother and it went in reverse. This is what happened to her on Christmas. And you know, you got the mainstream Christian church still telling people that it's okay to celebrate pagan Christmas, the festival of Saturnalia, as if witches and pagans don't talk about how it's their day every day. Has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. I got a lot of videos breaking that down. But anyway, that's a high satanic day, right? Let's see what happened.
Animal with horns, and there's I think it's called a pentagram. I don't know, but it's like a triangle facing down and a triangle facing up, and it's uh, let me see if I can find the name.
A pentagram.
I don't know, but okay, a Baphomet.
Oh, a Baphomet.
A
So one of them was wearing a Baphomet. They were all dressed the same, and they rolled up on her and her homegirl. All right, let's go.
freaking Baphomet. That's exactly what they had. That is exactly what they had. They had his head. Yup, and they had the triumph. Yup, yup, yup. Wow.
Somebody asked a very interesting question in the chat. Um, Maya Anna Hiller says, New Breed, is it possible for us to start some type of spiritual counseling for women? It is a lot of wise elders in here. Absolutely. That's a great idea. Maybe you all should consider starting a WhatsApp group. Start using social media the correct way. That's a great idea, sister. I like that because a lot of women need healing and they need counseling. So I think that's a good idea. You could start off with a WhatsApp group or something to that nature. Reach out to some of the names that you see within the chat, things like that. Reach out to Sister Lachia Coleman on Instagram. See if y'all can formulate something like that because it is real out here. And you know, and the thing is, there's a certain allure to it that a lot of us brothers don't understand. There's an allure to this lifestyle because it's all glitz and glamour. They raised up off Walt Disney. We need some sisters to let it be known that that ain't the way to go, to help them out. Beautiful Mystery, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, have you noticed when someone dies, the media never tells you if they were going to psychics or doing tarot? There's always a spiritual reason why someone died. That is true. Yeah, they never really get into their belief system. I agree. All right, let's continue.
Oh, wow. I want to show y'all a good picture. Some real demonic shit. Like, they had that on their sweater, on their Christmas sweater. And they were all pulling around a cooler with, you know, a really thick rope around it. And they were pulling the cooler with the rope. We're standing on the door, like I said, and they're standing at the door across from us. When me and my friend begin to walk out of the train, one of them goes so close to my ear. And I know he was close to my ear because all three of them were so tall and I'm only 5'2". So how am I gonna hear this man?
Shorty, I'm going. Okay, so I don't know how this video has so many views. The video that she's doing, she's very loopy. But I have to like kind of reiterate what she's saying. Yeah, it's like, you know, say what happened to you, shorty. Like, spit it out. But some guys that were dressed in satanic gear on Christmas Day ran up on her. All right, we still right there with it. Somebody says she doing spells like that ain't demonic. Exactly. But that shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes. A lot of these women think they're doing these things out of innocence until something happens. They think conjuring and using the power of manifestation, they believe that it's all innocent until something happens to them. And sometimes it's a lot worse. Sometimes it's a lot where somebody says she probably dizzy even when sober. What? We're gonna try to fast forward. I'm gonna try to get it to what happened. Then we're gonna
And from all the
get
way
into
up
it.
there. No, I literally felt him right here, and he whispered something into my ear, and it was not English. It was Spanish. I did not understand
She probably whispered Latin. He probably whispered Latin to her.
that shit. Ever since, and I said this, but I didn't think that it was because of this spell that I did with my ex. I just felt like I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like this just put a hex on me. He just cursed me right now.
So now, see, this is what happens when you start practicing witchcraft. You make an agreement with the demonic kingdom. So these people know who you are, these entities. I tell y'all time and time again, spirits move through people. These demons jump in, they body snatch. That was a reminder that you had made a covenant with the demonic realm. That's what happened to her. That spirit was letting her know that, hey, you have made a covenant and a bond. So when you actually start to practice these type of things, you have a spiritual family, just like people of the Most High God who go get baptized, and people of the Most High God who read the Bible and try to do the right thing and honor God's commandments. We get a spiritual family. It's the same thing. So you don't want to make these type of agreements. All right, let's continue.
Because ever since that shit happened, yo, I've had the most worst luck
Mm.
with men. Every relationship, anyone that I was dating, it was just going down, 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 down.
See, a lot of ladies believe that they can do witchcraft and land them a man. They think that they're going to be happily ever after. That if they put a root on a brother, that spell is going to work, and they're going to live, and they're going to be just, it's going to be all good. Listen, Satan is full of empty promises. None of those things work. Only the Most High can give you a husband, not Satan. Satan can only give you problems. And Satan, his job is to destroy you. So anybody that you gain by doing witchcraft, they are designated to destroy you. Satan tricked you to make you believe that that was your husband. And every relationship you get will end, and it will end horribly. See, these witches, they be talking about these love spells. They be talking about, yoni steams, all of these things. And none of them have no damn husbands. They don't have husbands. The same reason that they turn to witchcraft is not even helping them. The reason they turn to witchcraft is actually the reason they can't get a man. And they grow old, cold, and bitter, all the way to the point where their eggs shrivel up and die. And that's what happens. And they doing a constant repeat, a damn 360 turn. And it's going to be the same thing because they will not follow the Most High. They won't yield to a man. They want to control a man. It's the same thing over and over. I'm telling you. Let's continue.
Was getting manipulated. I was meeting narcissists. I was meeting people with anger issues. It was crazy with insecurities.
Because you opened the portals. You opened the portals to the demonic realm. You made it so those entities have a point of entry. You ladies with these tarot cards, you're opening demonic gateways. You ladies with these Ouija boards, you ladies calling these psychics, you ladies checking your daily astrology page to find out how your damn day gonna be. You are already premeditating how things are gonna be. And Satan can use you because you're not putting trust in the Most High. Yep, grow into an old, cold, wicked witch who been ran through, ramsacked, and degraded, desecrated. by all these men. You know how many women walking around right now who are desecrated? They are empty shells of people. And that's why when you look into their eyes, brothers, you see nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why them scriptures tell us that beauty is vain. Because they can look good, they can have their makeup done, they can have full lips, they can have a nice shape, all those things. But the eyes don't lie. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And when you look at a female and it is blank, that's because she's been doing all these things. She's been practicing all these practices. Soulless vessels. You don't want those type of women, brothers. Real talk.
Like again and again and again and again, and I'm like, yo, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, yo, this dude really cursed me. I have to go to someone. I didn't.
She said the dude cursed her. No, you cursed him. It just didn't work. So now you open up that demonic portal. Now, and see, there's never a solution. She said she had to go to somebody, but she didn't. See, when you put one spell in, they have to go somewhere else to do something else with somebody else to break the spell. So that, the only way to really break the spell is close them legs, repent. A lot of you sisters need to repent. A lot of y'all need to be begging for forgiveness, praying that the Most High will forgive you and make it so you will even be able to have a husband one day. Because some of y'all ladies out here are demonic, and some of the men that you with, not even your husband. That's not even your husband. That's just a man that you with at the moment that you done conjured up. And that person ain't going to be there for long. Repent. Real talk.
Didn't go. I've been going through this for so many years, but honestly, I feel like my curse has been broken. It is broken because now I started to think about it like in a very old video. It's here, it's on my, you can search it up. It was a video
That curse ain't broke unless she came to the Most High.
where at one point,
and I'm going to say this as well. We talking about reserving our energy, right, brothers? I want you to understand the power that you have. Your chemical marker as an awakened brother in truth, with the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the royal bloodline, the seed of David, what's flowing through your veins is designed to knock out a lot of what's in these women. Now, I don't want to go over y'all's head. But it's a science to it. See, brothers, when you enter a woman as a righteous man, your DNA can change her. Your DNA can make her come to the light. Now, I know y'all like, whoa, Bree, you went way over the top. No. The book of Proverbs tells us who can find a virtuous woman. She's more precious than rubies and stones, meaning that you cannot find it. You're not going to just find a virtuous woman like that. It means every woman has issues. That's like looking for Lucky Charms. Every woman is going to have issues. But when you pour into her, not only your DNA, because when that VMAT2 ignites in a man, it goes down his spinal cord, which then goes into his scrotum, which then changes the DNA of his children. His children bear the light. And when you enter the woman, it changes her. She goes through a metamorphosis. So the incubus is very real. When these women are dealing with these demonic men, that DNA changes her, but the righteous also can change her. But you got to be careful out here, brothers, because you don't want to deal with a woman who is rotten to the core. A lot of these sisters out here have issues, and I have to let that be known, because if you're not on your game, if you haven't had that light ignited in you as a man, these women will eat you alive. I'm talking about straight up man eater. Real.
I forgot what I was.
And look, I'm not giving nobody the green light to just go finding witches and dealing with anybody. But just know that your energy is very important. As a righteous brother, your energy is everything. Your energy is everything, bro. And imagine using such royal energy on witches, on women who done had like 30, 40, 50, 60 bodies. Can't get right. Same demonic cycle because she didn't open up demonic gateways, and you got to go against all that. Yes, your DNA can change, but imagine all the birth pains you got to go through. Imagine all of the trauma, all of the resentment, all the regret, all of the distrust, all of the insecurity, all of the things you got to go through as a man just trying to pour into that woman. And I'm not even just talking about physical, because yes, physically she alters and changes because your DNA is mixing with hers, but also mentally. You got to pour into these women's mind. Brothers, the old saying that goes, you get into a mind first and the rest will follow. That's the real talk. You got to get onto a woman's mind, bro. You got to ask questions to find out how her mind works so you can get into her mind to help renew her mind. You know, not just her body. You got to renew her mind. You got to renew her body. You got to renew her soul. You got to pray for your woman. You got to pray that her soul comes to the light. You got to nourish her spirit. You can't give her fast food. You got to give her soul food, brothers. She got to know it ain't nobody like you, because these women be hurt, and that's why they going off course, man. So, this is a prime example with this sister, losing her virginity and turning it into what she's doing. Right? Let's continue.
Talking about in the video, but there was a point in the video where I was talking about how I caught the freaking dry spell. Like, since I was meeting all these terrible guys, I just like gave up for like a year, like 6 months to a year. I just gave up. I'm like, I'm not dating anyone. Like, I'm done. Like,
that's because she just kept dating instead of being celibate for a while and getting her mind right and trying to really figure herself out and find herself out.
I just keep meeting asshole after asshole after that. And then when I try to date again, oh my God. Sahara Desert girl, like broken pussy girl.
Whoa. Whoa, hold up. Whoa. I think that's an ad. Did y'all hear what she said? She went through Sahara Desert down there. Oh my gosh. She said,
interested in selling printed products such as wall art and apparel with your design online? Go to gelato.com. Then click stores.
Oh man. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I just skipped the video, but she just said she had vaginal issues. I don't know what just happened. Yo, did you hear what she just said? Flag on a play, flag on a play, flag on a play. It affected the insides. She was right. She was just real she was real forthcoming with it. She's basically saying she's been desecrated because of turning. It all started with doing this witchcraft. Ain't this what I've been talking about? I've been talking about the Sahara Desert action that a lot of these witches be going through, dealing with roses and dealing with yoni stings and doing with witchcraft. And it's like they be always praising and worshiping the WAP. And these witches don't have no good WAP. Brothers, let me tell you, reserve your energy. A lot of these witches don't got no good WAP, bro. They don't. Let me tell you who got good WAP. God-fearing women. You know why? Because they are a lady in the streets. Y'all know the rest. They a lady in the streets, and y'all know the rest. They chasing modest. They be chilling. But you know what? When they come to the get down, but these women with this demonic, with this crypt keeper, they got the crypt keeper down there. They got the skull and bones down there. They got a dungeon down there full of skeletons, powdered milk. It ain't no good. That demonic sex ain't where it's at, brothers. Oh man, we got to go back because I don't know what happened. It just like skipped the whole video when she said that. Like my whole computer glitched when she said that. Wow. My whole computer glitched. That's crazy.
Yo, this dude.
Hold on. My whole like, yo, y'all seen that though? My whole computer just glitched out. Yo, why did it do that? It went to a whole nother video. My hands wasn't touching nothing or anything. They're like, we don't even want him to expose this. they got the valley of the dry bones down there. All from starting to do witchcraft. Satan must really hate y'all ladies to do y'all like that. Trick you with a shiny apple, trick you with a nice shiny fruit, the forbidden fruit, or give you a rose, something pretty that you like. And then in return, all you get is wombat. You get that wombat down there. Oh, he must really hate y'all. The devil ain't no joke. Stop playing with these cards and all of that. Cut it out. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. All right, let's see what she just said. Let's go. This is getting good. Everybody thumb the video. This is getting real good. I ain't even go this far earlier.
Issues. I was crazy with insecurity. It was just going down. I was getting manipulated. I was meeting narcissists. I was meeting people with anger issues. It was crazy with insecurities, like again and again and again and again. And I'm like, yo, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, yo, this dude really cursed me. I have to go to someone. I didn't go. I've been going through this for so many years, but honestly, I feel like my curse has been broken. It is broken because now I started to think about it, like in a very old video. It's here, it's on my, you can search it up. It was a video where at one point I just gave up. I'm like, I'm not dating anyone. Like, I'm done. Like, I just keep meeting asshole after asshole after that. And then when I try to date again, oh my God, Sahara Desert.
Oh no. So look, that is 6 months to a year after she was celibate from doing witchcraft. It was still Sahara Desert. It was like a nuclear warhead hit that joint. It was like famine, pestilence, earthquakes, disaster down there. Like, imagine how insecure she must have been. It's crazy.
Girl, like broken pussy girl, like broken pussy.
Oh, I don't want to get hit with no copyright. Okay. It was broken. Okay, let's go.
We came in contact again. We started talking again. Not, as just friends. We were a little friendly, but we weren't like trying to, oh, you're my boyfriend. No, hell no. We were just friendly with each other. Like, just.
And it always goes back to the root. The original man that dealt with her. That's how it always goes, full circle. And when you think about it like this, ladies, you want to be with one brother. You want to be with one brother because going from man to man to man is not what you designed to do. This spell that she casted, it gave her sandpaper crotch. It gave her insecurities. It gave her bad relationship, bad experience after another. I think it's safe to say that instead of you ladies trying to fight for position through manipulation, through subdability, through suggestion, it would be in your best interest to just let go. Just surrender. If it's a brother you interested in, surrender. Let that man be a man. Let him lead you. And if you've been hurt by one of these worthless guys out here that just wanted to use and abuse you, and wasn't honest about what they were doing or what they were about, and they deceived you and you're hurt. You got to keep in mind, sisters, you're the gatekeeper. You're the ones who let brothers in. You're the ones who choose your mate. To every wicked man, there's a wicked woman afforded to him. To every wicked woman, there's a wicked man afforded to him. Some ladies out here, they young, they get brainwashed by social media and they hot in the ass. And they go out here and they being thirsty and they think that a man is supposed to automatically love on them and treat them right. Well, no, there's a cesspool of wicked brothers out here, just like wicked sisters. And you can't take matters into your own hands. And you got to take responsibility. And I know that accountability is foreign when it comes to ladies in this here land we live in. It's almost like I'm speaking another language when I say be held accountable for allowing your gates to allow a man in. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. And I know that's tough. I know it's very difficult, but that's the only way the Most High God can forgive you for allowing your gates to be penetrated. You got to be able to let the Most High God know that you're apologetic and that, you know what, you're going to keep everything on lockdown until you find a husband. And in this day and age, a lot of women are having a lot of frustration dating other melanated men, women dating melanated women, dating melanated men. They're having a lot of issues. But y'all got to understand we're in a different day and age. Sisters got to be a lot more aggressive these days. There's like 30 women to every one man, with all of our men in the penitentiary, with a lot of brothers turning homosexual. Then you got brothers dying early. Hey, you ladies are going to have to learn how to be team players. Y'all going to have to learn how to stop being so jealous. And you're going to have to learn to get in where you fit in. It is what it is. This is the time you're living in. That's if you want a husband. And that might not be the situation for everybody, but in a lot of instances, some of y'all sisters, in a lot of instances, you're missing the opportunity to have yourself a good man because you're worried about being the centerpiece of his life. A good man is in charge of making sure that you're provided for, that he is spiritually elevating you, that he's pouring into you, and that he's really taking care of you, mind, body, and soul. Not for you to be the centerpiece of his life, someone that he reverences, someone that he idolizes, someone that he so-called can't live without. You ladies got to get off your high horse. Men are men. And until you come to that realization, you're going to have a life of loneliness, and you're going to be getting tossed to and fro, trying to find different practices to find fulfillment. When you only can get from fulfillment that you're looking for from a God-fearing man of truth. So the games have to stop. And you brothers, my message for you, reserve your energy, because the wombats and the witches, they're just going to dry up. They're going to shrivel up, and young foolish women turn into old foolish women. That's what happens. Young foolish women turn into old foolish women. Brothers, you have too much to do. It's time for you brothers to actually build up your nation, build up your people. It's time for you brothers to accelerate. It's time for the paradigm to shift back to where it's supposed to be, where men are actually leading. And we're not dealing with so much emotionalism. It's time to have emotional intelligence, brothers. It's time that we have discernment, brothers. It's time that we gain control over our spirits, because the Bible tells us a man who have no control over himself is like a city without walls, chaotic. You don't want to be that, brothers. So it's time to gain discipline. Reserve your energy. Women gonna be here. You know what I learned a long time ago? Whether you got one tooth, one braid in your head, and you pushing a shopping cart with cans in it, or you got $1 billion to your name and got a mansion, there's always going to be women there. You hear me, brothers? There's always going to be ladies there. You're going to have a lady pushing that cart with you with the cans. The caliber of your women will change, but women are always going to be there, brothers. So why go out there and put yourself out there and be thirsty? Why try to do so much to impress these women who seem to be entitled? They're always going to be there. You brothers don't have biological clocks. Start acting like it. This is not a rat race. You don't have to just go after every sister. Let the right ones gravitate. Reserve your energy. Don't stress yourself out, brothers. Because these women, if you keep on pushing, they'll be your downfall. Right? Listen, I love all of y'all, man. And if you like to support my work, support it at newbreed.love. Newbreed.love. Give out of your heart. Any $10 contribution or over will be in exchange for 1 ounce of love sent directly to your house in the form of a love note. These love notes have a redeemable code for future merchandising, so you can get discounts. And there's some upgrades coming. T-shirts will be available really soon on the website, and also content will be available very soon on the website. So, get your love note, be a part of the power circle, and have it ready. So when those things start to post up, you got a leg up in the game. Also, when I do my meet and greets, along with brother Brandon T. Jackson as well, and a few other select brothers, when we do our meet and greets, a lot of them are only going to be paid with love notes. We're stimulating the economy of our nation. So, show your support. Newbreed.love. We're doing fantastic over there. For the record, we are doing absolutely fantastic over there. Everything is moving right on time. All praises to the Most High. Everything that we are doing is turning into gold, and it's just a blessing. All right. But I love each and every one of y'all. Also, follow me on Patreon. I have an exclusive video over there. And consider becoming a member right here on New Breed Global Truth, so you can get exclusive content. And also, pretty soon, we're going to be doing members-only chats. And you want to make sure you're still able to comment and things of that nature. Y'all be safe out here. Brothers, reserve your energy. Sisters, reserve your energy as well, because there's wizards prowling. Anyway, y'all have a blessed one. With that being said, shalom and peace.